Hi, welcome to Tea and Bree. So today I will be making the full-size lighter case per request from Brad Zett. He requested on one of the Facebook groups that I'm in, as well as on my mini lighter case, and I'm more than happy to do it. This is one of my favorite, and it's been pretty popular. So what you will need is one big lighter, fuchsia, black, gray, pink, which I got these from the Skin Tone collection, and then metallic white. So these are the rounded silicone from the mixed bag, and I really do love them for the trim. That's predominantly all I use them for, chains and things like that, but I do love them for the trim. So go ahead and set up our loom. So your bar pin with the arrow, if you have it, is all the way to the end of your large base with the arrows facing to the right. If you're right-handed. If you're left-handed, then your arrow needs to face to the left. Another bar pin, you're going to do in the opposite direction, straight across, like that. This bar pin, set aside. And then just pop your other two bases on there, just like so, so that you have a middle that the case can feed through. So I'm going to make my base gray. And take and cap it, and if you prefer to use your fingers, you can definitely use your fingers. I prefer it this way. I think it causes less twisting, and you know, it's a little easier on your fingers. Cap it, pull, twist into an X on the diagonal, pull, cap, pull, twist on the diagonal, cap, pull, twist, diagonal. So now you have 4. Now you're going to go in the opposite direction. I flipped it around. It's a little easier to grab the edge when you're doing it in the manner that I am. So, cap, pull, twist on the diagonal, cap, pull, twist on the diagonal, push down, cap, pull, twist, push down, cap, pull, twist, push down, like that. As I said in my mini lighter case, my inspiration came from JC at Craft Life. She did a tutorial. I think the one I watched was for a phone case, and it just kind of stuck with me, and so I've been doing it like this, using her base because it works, other than I do cap them. Okay, so now I'm doing the same thing, cap, twist, but you're just going to go straight across this time. Cap, twist, push down, cap, maybe, way over in the edge here, aren't I? Twist that down a little bit. I'm using a digital camera, so I kind of have to peek around and make sure I'm still in camera. So sometimes I go out of camera. Maybe someday I'll be able to get a camera I don't have to do that with. So, pull, twist. So you should have that. Now, push all those down. Now you want to lay whatever pattern that you're going to use. Again, with the mustache pattern, you want to use at least 2 bands side by side so that the pattern shows up. So I'm going to start with black. And you do want a starting point. So what I'm going to suggest, I'm going to use this side as my starting point because this is where my arrow is. So whenever you say starting point, you look for that side with the arrow or something to let you know that that's your starting side. So you're just going to stretch that black band across and then one up. Now I'm going to swap colors and I'm going to do 3 burgundy, or sorry, fuchsia. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to use gray. Yeah. Oh, that's black. 1, 2, and then pink. So this will complete your base for your lighter case. So this is the pattern that you will use in color. So now you want to go and you want to lift your bottom capped bands. I do recommend this first time. You just want to be very, very gentle and pull maybe just a couple up at a time, going up and over, because if any of your colors fall off, unfortunately, you just have to start over. I have never figured out a save for that. It's just too tight and it just gets twisted. And so all these bottom gray bands up and over. Be careful with this one. Make sure you still have 2 on each peg. Up and over. Over. Swap sides. Over and over. And over. Last one. Okay, just like that. Push those down. Now you're going to put on your trim bands. So again, these are my decorative bands. And you're going to lay these all the way around. I don't know if you can hear that, but there is somebody out there just booming this music. And you know what? It'd be okay if it weren't 8 o'clock in the morning. Really? Unbelievable. Just no respect these days. All the way around. Which, by the way, I didn't use my starting point, if you noticed, but at this point we don't really have to, but we will when we start the pattern. So, like that. Now, you're only going to pull 1 band on the bottom up and over. So just one. Just one. Just one. just one, swap sides, just one, one, now I only do this for the base, but I like to just do one so it keeps them in an order. If that doesn't matter to you, you can just do both at a time. Just my preference. Up and over your last colors on the bottom so that all you have left are the trim. Swap sides. Up and over. Up and over. Up and over. Up and over. Push down. So you should have something that looks like that. Now we begin our pattern. So for this lighter, I actually use 15 total. So if you include your trim bands, I include my trim bands as my first row. And then your top trim bands will be a second row. So in total you will need 13, so total 15, 13 not including the trim bands. 13 rows. Okay, so starting point. So we see our arrow, we got our starting point. Start here. So we started with black. So we're going to lay a black, skip one, fuchsia, skip one, fuchsia, skip one, gray, skip one, pink, just like that. Now, you're going to grab your first bottom trim band, just one. This is not going to be two, just one. And you're going to go up and over, up and over, up and over, all the way around. It isn't crucially important whether you go clockwise or counterclockwise. Whatever way works for you. I tend to go counter when I put them on. That way the arrows are facing the way they're supposed to be. And then I actually take them off in clockwise position. Push down. So now we know we started, back to our starting point, we started here. So we're actually going to skip this one because we already laid it. Let's go here. Skip one, fuchsia. Skip one, gray. Skip one, pink. Skip one, pink. And now same thing. Bottom trim band, up and over. Bottom trim band, up and over. Up and over. All the way around. You do not have to use trim bands. It's just decorative and I like it. You do not have to use them. You can just start right into your pattern. Okay, so we have our trim bands on, so now we have our first row. And our second row is actually on the loom already. Just like that. So now this is where it gets a little easier. If you should forget where you started, it's actually going to tell you. So here, this is where we're going to start with the black. But if you can't remember, did I do this last time? You could remember by looking that your black is on the bottom, so those colors always want to alternate wherever you swap colors. Like that. So now you have black, pink, black. Skip one. You can see on here. Oops. See, that's why it's a good idea to look. Fuchsia. So now you have fuchsia pink, or fuchsia black, fuchsia. Skip one. Gray. Skip. pink, skip, and up and over just your bottom, all the way around. All the way around. Push down. Go back to your starting point. Can't remember where you started, but you don't want to put black there because it's your starting point. You already have a black, so you know you need to skip one. So, black, skip, fuchsia, skip, gray, skip, pink, skip, pink. So you see we did what we're supposed to do. We have pink, black, pink. And now again, up and over. So now you have a total of 3 sets, your trim set and then your 2 lighter sets. So 1 trim set done, your 2nd set working on being done, and then your 3rd set is actually on the loom. So now push down, like that, starting point, starting with black. It's the last set I'm going to do with you. And you want to go ahead after we do this, so this we are working out on our 4th set. So I actually want you to continue to do, let's see, 9. So you would want to do 9 more sets. See that? I put gray on. Really? The last one. So after you do this one, you'll do 9 more sets. Skip one. Skip gray. Grab a pink. Skip. And bottom, up and over. Round, up and over. Up and over. Push down and back to your starting point. So we have a black there, so we need to skip that one. Put black here. Skip on to fuchsia, skip to gray, skip pink, skip pink, up and over, all the way around. So go ahead and keep going. So like I said, we have, you can see in there, a little easier, you have your base or your trim bands, which is 1, next band 2, 3, and 4 on the loom. So since you need 15, but we want to stop 2 in, or 2 before we actually quit. Okay, so go ahead and keep doing that until you have roughly bracelet length for you. And I'll be back in just a moment. Hi, welcome back. So at this point you should have something looks like this. And if you lose count, you can double check it. So how you would do that, pull it to the side. Trim bands are 1. Then I'm just going to count the pink up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13 is on our loom. So now at this point, and take your trim bands again, your starting point, and you're just going to go all the way around with your trim bands. Just like that. Now you're going to take your bottom 2 up and over, 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 all the way around, bottom 2, bottom 2, bottom 2, bottom 2, push down. Now for our last one, we'll be capping these two because it helps to hold on to the lighter. If you don't cap it, it just slides. So we'll take our black, and we're going to pull it straight over, capped, no skipping this time. Capped, pull over, now move on to your fuchsia. Over, another fuchsia, and your gray, pull over, another gray, pull over, capping all the way around, pink, pull over, pink, last one. Oh, out of camera, I'm so sorry. Pull over. Okay. So now I'm going to bring those trim bands up and over. All the way around. Both trim bands up and over. 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 Flip it around. Trim bands up and over. Up and over. Up and over. Okay, so now to finish it off, I do recommend that I'll go through and make sure that you separate these, because if you miss one, again, the whole thing can fall apart and it's a very, very difficult recovery. Just like that. Now, that's your starting point. Go inside the peg, push back, pull that black band up, hold that down just in case, and pull it over, like so. Oops, you know what, I did that backwards. Fail. Don't lose it, don't lose it. Needs to go the other way. Sorry about that. Okay, try again. Push back, pull up, and go forward. Push back, pull up, move forward. Push back, move up, all the way around. It is super tight, so take your time. Flip it around, push back. Push back. Last one. Over. So it should look like that. Now you want to take 2 bands, finger, put your hook down inside that peg, and then you're just going to slip knot it. Your 2 bands like so, twist it, pull it back up, put it back on your hook like that, and you can take these 2 bands and you can use your hook to pull it over, or you can use your fingers. Of course my fingers are probably in the way. One closest to you, pull it over that hook and then give it a little tug, just like that. Now you can take your lighter case off the loom. One at a time, don't rip it. Since they're double band, they'll snap. Just like that. Now it looks a little long, but that's exactly what we need. So this is actually the inside, but if you like it, you could always keep it that way. But I'm going to turn mine inside out so I can see the mustache pattern. Like that. And that is your lighter case. But I am going to take it one step further. This is kind of how I get things through when I'm at work. I need my lighter. So if you've ever done a fishtail, that's all you're going to do. And I will show you why that is so beneficial with this just rearranging my loom. So that I have the open holes right on the end. Then I'm going to take the same colors that I used and twist the first one. Back, straight across. And then gray. And then pink after I loop it. So you can take that bottom one, if you have 3 bands on there, up and over, up and over. I'm sure most people know how to do this. Up and over, up and over. Back to my fuchsia. Up and over. And over, and you're just going to keep doing this until you've got the length that you need. Like I forgot one. I did. I forgot gray. Sorry. So you're just going to keep doing the same exact thing, regular fishtail, until you get it to your desired length. One more time. I should say one more color set. Okay, so go ahead and keep doing that until you have, roughly bracelet length for you. And I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, so now once you get your fishtail done, and about the length of a bracelet, go ahead and close it off. Whatever way is easiest for you. C-clip. Pop it on there, flip it off. The other side. There, so that you've got your standard fishtail. Now you just simply pop it on wherever you want on that lighter. So it's the top of my lighter. So I think I'm going to pop it on right here. So I'm actually going to pull these 2 trim bands out. Hook, maybe. Like that. Snagged a great one too. Okay, like that. And then trying to figure out how to make it easier for myself, since trim bands are silicone, they don't stretch as well. But put this on my loom. That's easiest for me. Pull it out, pop it on that C-clip, just like that. Now, you can actually just throw it on your wrist, or I'll show you a few other tricks, or one more trick anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and slide my lighter down in here. Get it where I want it. Just like that. This piece here, where you tied it, lift that up. And actually wrap that around the lighter to help everything stay in place, just like that. Now, pull that up. Like so. Get it straight. Okay, so somewhere along the way my battery went dead. But what I wanted to point out is that if you don't like this little like heart design on the trim, and you would prefer to do it like this, instead of lifting up one at a time, you would just lift both double bands up and over, and then you'll just have the line. So you have line in between and then line. But if you like the heart, just do it the way I did it in the tutorial. Now what I was going to show you too, with the benefit of this, of course, you can throw it on your wrist for on the go, or if you have a purse, you can actually find a loop on your purse and pull it through, and now it's on your purse, or on your keys. So you can take your keys and do the same thing on your key ring, and now it's right there on your keys. So you can make it longer, you can make it shorter, whatever works for you. So, hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Until next time, have a good one.